MKMIX TV, sponsored by Network Grout.
Yes, what can I say? Well, I came to the charity sector by the scenic route, I'd say. I studied zoology, botany, and really wanted to be a marine biologist. But I've ended up in Milton Keynes running a children's charity. And I started my career in a company called Grand Metropolitan, a big hotel company in London. And I worked there for a number of years. Busy in a hotel, in all parts of the hotel, got to know the hotel industry, moved to sales and was selling first in the UK and then internationally for the hotel group. And I then got charmed away into the travel industry. And I worked for many years in the travel industry, and I ran my own travel company. And then that's when I moved into the charity sector, because I moved into an organisation called the Family Holiday Association, who provided holidays for families that wouldn't be able to have a holiday like maybe you and I can afford. And that was my first taste of the charity sector, and I stayed there for around 10 years, and then I moved to working in Milton Keynes, and 6 or 7 years ago I joined the Milton Keynes Play Association, which is a great organisation, I have to say. One day my wife, who was then working for a subsidiary of BP, came home and said the organisation, the company, is relocating to Milton Keynes. And like many other people, I probably took a sharp intake of breath and went, what? Milton Keynes? Why would we want to move to Milton Keynes? But we came up here, we looked at the area, we looked at houses, and the city, and that was going on for 30 years ago, and it was a very interesting place then, because there wasn't a lot like Milton Keynes. Obviously it's only about 10 years old, but we moved up, and now I'd have to say I'm a great ambassador for the city. I love it. I think it's got a lot to offer people. I think it's much maligned, and people really ought to just come and see it, rather than put it down. London's a great place, and a fantastic place to work, and a fantastic place to live. And I think, Dr. Johnson said, when a man's tired of London, he's tired of life, and I think that's true. London, to work in London does have that great motivating capacity, but I think the thing about living in London was you never kind of do all the things that you can do in London when you live there. It's only actually when you come away that you spend a lot of time going to the theatres, going to the art galleries, doing all the stuff that you can do in London. Milton Keynes is different. It's a different pace. It's got so much green space. I love the amount of green space that we've got in Milton Keynes, and you really don't feel like you're living in the city. It's great. It's just a great place to be, and I think that's the difference for me. It's a different. I enjoyed my time in London. I enjoyed going back to London, but it was a quite strain on your your work-life balance working in a city like that. Whereas in Milton Keynes, it's a lot easier, because actually for us, especially the Play Association, we work a lot with the local communities and in the local spaces, and particularly in the local green spaces. So that work-life balance is a lot easier to achieve. Yeah, I live just outside. I live in Hounslow, which is a village outside Milton Keynes. So I guess in terms of Milton Keynes, the centre of Milton Keynes, the city itself, I'm involved through my work with the voluntary organisations in Milton Keynes. The Play Association is a fairly large player in the charity sector in Milton Keynes, so I do get involved in in things like the CLIP. I'm a trustee of Community Action MK, so I get involved in the sector at that level, if you like. But locally, I spent a lot of time as a governor in my local school. I fundraise in the village for both the church and for the village hall. I chair the village hall committee. And I spend quite a lot of my time with the Hounslow Entertainments Group, because I'm a great fan of, if you want, amateur dramatic, and particularly pantomime. So I tend to be on the stage once a year in pantomime. So I tend to, that's how I tend to support the city and my own village. Reasonably easily, because I was moving into a village. So, and although village life, you know, is quite difficult, I guess, to break into, what I did was I ingratiated myself into things that were going on, so I became part of that village life. So by getting involved in the school and things going on, it was easier. Milton Keynes then was predominantly the shopping centre and some of the estates, and not much else, and there was nothing much else going on culturally. So for the theatre or the cinema, you had to go to Bedford, or you had to go to you know, outside of Milton Keynes, Northampton. So I guess, but I think people coming to the city now, it's a lot easier, because there's a lot of you know, somebody like Community Action are they, you know, they have people, they're mobilisers, and they have people that welcome people into the city. There's a lot more going on, so it's easier to get into, I think. I mean, the Play Association has been going almost as long as the city, so we've been going for over 40 years, and it grew out of the community. It was very much a grassroots organisation. We engage with communities right across the city, because most of the time we are delivering play opportunities for children, always supporting play right across the city. It's changed very much, I think, probably in the last, maybe even only in the last 5 years, but more and more we're seeing there's a diversity across those communities. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to use play as a way to engage communities and build some community cohesion. We go into communities such as Fishermead. There's quite a high proportion of, say, Somali families, and it's trying to work with the leaders of those communities to say, why don't you bring those children out? Let's get play to be, you know, play is a great leveller. All children play, and lots of children play the same things that we play. So lots of children play hopscotch, but it's maybe not called hopscotch, they use a different term for it. But essentially culturally play can be a great leveller, and if we can get the children playing together, then hopefully we can get the communities out together, and maybe we can start to, it might not be us that builds that community cohesion, but if we can get the communities out, play can open up communities for other people and other agencies to come and do what they need to do. I don't know. I like Milton Keynes. I like the village that I live in. I like the area. I like the fact that we're very close to, you know, we've got the canals, we've got the rivers, we've got some great countryside, some great open spaces. But I also have a passion for the coast, and I love the sea, and I'm about as far away from the sea as I could possibly get right now. So I don't know. I really don't know. You know, you don't know what the future holds.
Yes,
so
that's right.
there might be an opportunity to move away. I would say don't take any notice of what people say. Come and see it. Don't listen to the stigma. You know, people talk about Milton Keynes, and all they talk about is the roundabouts and the grid system and the concrete canals. We've got loads of things at Milton Keynes. We've got a fantastic culture now with our theatre and our gallery. We've got a tremendous shopping centre, and there's a wealth of things going on in Milton Keynes, and people just need to come and see it, because people that come and see it, I think, then fall in love with it, as I did 50 years ago. It's not that, but we've got a huge diversity of culture in Milton Keynes, and I think what we've seen over the last few years, and it really isn't, I don't think, or it doesn't feel to me like it's been that long, although I know that we've got some very established communities in Milton Keynes. But very recently, I mean, I think we've seen some fantastic festivals, we've seen some fantastic culture going on. You know, we've got our international festival now. There's a huge amount of things going on, and I just think people need to come and experience it rather than, you know, bad mouth us. Well, I think I'm very excited by the fact that we're very up to speed, I think, with our technology. Things that impress me about the future of Milton Keynes is I'm hearing that, you know, potentially we could be a smart city, big investment, big inward investment from people like PT. Now we've got Network Rail, which is fantastic. So there's, you know, we're being recognised. I think in the past we were a little bit too much of a distribution centre. You know, we were very close to the M1, good rail links, you know, and all people ever talked about was how easy it was to use us as a distribution centre. Now, I think that's turned on its head. You know, people can get here very, very easily, very quickly. We are well connected. We're getting inward investment. You know, companies come in here. We're attractive. It's a great place to live. So people that are relocating here, unlike when I relocated here, you know, it's a much more attractive place to come to now. It's a very vibrant, go-do-it type of city, and I think if we become a smart city, that's going to deliver up all sorts of opportunities for us. You know, the university, for example, I think is going to be, you know, a world-class facility, and we're investing in all that sustainable transport and the sustainable buildings. And I'd really like, you know, I think when I moved here, Milton Keynes was at the leading edge, and then we kind of dropped away again, and I think we're picking up again, and we're becoming a leading edge city again. And who knows, we might even have Premiership football as well. Well, play is really important. We would believe that play is really important in a child's life. Through play they learn. Through play they learn their social skills. It's physical activity, which is good for them. It helps build their intelligence, their creativity, and their emotional well-being through play. So for us, we champion that, you know, the right for children to play under the UN Convention of Human Rights. There is an article around children's play and the importance of children's play, and we believe very strongly in that. So the Play Association really was formed, as I said, as a grassroots organisation. When some of the first people settled in the city, they decided that they wanted better play opportunities for their children. They wanted some equipment, they wanted to share some knowledge, so in essence that was a little bit of training and development for them around play. And then the then developers of the city decided that there was a germ of an organisation here that was really worth investing in, and they invested a small amount of money, not a huge amount of money, but enough to actually kick-start the organisation. So 40 odd years on from that, we're a charity that employs 15 people, mixture of full-time, part-time. That increases to another 20-25 staff during the summer school holidays when we're out and about across the city. Last year we reckoned we travelled somewhere in the region of 5,000 miles across the city. We delivered 200 play sessions to probably somewhere in the region of 10,000 children, and you know that's pretty good. I think you know, that's a good achievement. But play to us is all about the people that are delivering those play opportunities, so in the after-school clubs, in the nurseries, in the preschools, the uniformed groups, the faith groups, the church groups. Play is going on right across our city, all hours of the day, and we will support them. We'll resource them. So back at Kiln Farm, we have something called our resource centre, which is affectionately known as our scrap store, and companies from 35-mile radius donate clean toxic waste to us, and that can be anything. Some of it's recognisable: paper, fabric, plastic, but some of it might be a byproduct of a manufacturing process. We'll take all that in, and that's used by our members in a very creative way through lots of creative play. But we'll train play workers, we'll train people in first aid, food safety, all those core competencies. And we have two strands to our work, if you like. We have making play happen, which is us going out and delivering play, and us supporting people to run play schemes and play opportunities for children. But then we also have a strand of making play matter, which is where we advocate for play. So where locally there might be a need for a play space, or somebody's fighting for a new play space for their children, we would like to get involved with that and help them. We can consult with the community around that play space. We have expertise in terms of what children might like to do and how they would use that space, even through to suggesting some of the design elements that might go into the play space. Regionally, we sit on a regional board for play, and nationally I sit on Play England's board. Play England is the national organisation for play. So we have a local and a regional and a national presence. And what we learn regionally and nationally, we like to bring back home and try and bring that into our own practice. If anybody wants to find out where we are and what we're doing, then the best place to go is to our Facebook site, which is MKPA Play. And if you go there and you like us, we're constantly putting things on Facebook, where we're going to be, new ideas, etc. So that's the place to go.
MKMIX TV, sponsored by Network Grout.